What's up YouTube, Mitchell MSC here, and today we're going to be jumping into a playthrough that a lot of people have asked for a long time. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult one. This is going to be the physical Boazon. So what this means is I will be using physical bow skills and passives. I won't be using Frost Arrow or Exploding Arrow, any of the elemental pieces there. No lightning, javelins, any of that. This is going to be using multi-shot, strafe, maybe some magic arrow. I'd consider that if we wanted to use that. And then just kind of physical bows. Now, of course, the difficult piece about this is that it is more gear dependent, right? When you're running something like Exploding Arrow, or if you're running, Lightning, Fury, Javazon, whatever it is, you get a lot of the damage from the skill. But for these physical skills, while they have had some buffs, they are still overall just not enough damage. And so you kind of end up really relying on your weapons and stuff, and it just ends up being a little slower. That being said, that's totally okay. This will be a little bit of a slower playthrough. We'll probably do a little bit of farming along the way. Feel free to start up your own Boazon and join me. That's kind of, I think, the really fun pieces about this. But I'm excited to do this playthrough because I think this kind of takes me back to the reason that I really love Diablo 2. And that reason is you do get these really great playthroughs that can be challenging. They'll have slow moments in them, but farming, getting those items, everything just feels really great. As opposed to, for instance, like a Trap Assassin, which is a great character and can play through the game, but I've beaten the game naked on a Trap Assassin in like 7 hours or something, so it's like you don't get quite as excited for the gear and all of that. These sorts of characters instead are really the ones that make you like, it's just super fun. It's super fun to get into. So let's go ahead and start it up. We'll start Miss Bow and can go. Now, I'm not saying Trap Assassin, like playing any character through this game is not easy, but that is a much easier character than, for instance, this character. I'll go ahead and start with my jabs just because, we don't have anything to start. But we can take a look a little bit at the Amazon overall and talk about her. So the Amazon overall, she has decent vitality. She gets 3 health per vitality point, so that's very nice right there. Her passive and magic skills are great. Penetrate is really nice. That we'll be using a lot of that to try and boost our attack rating. Let me go here and move over so you can see. Right, so you get the attack rating boost. Pierce as well is really nice there. Obviously, Valkyrie is the strongest summon in the game. Decoy can be really helpful just for, decoy right there, and then all of these are also really nice. So she has a great tree of just stuff to have, and then of course strafe, guided arrow, multi-shot are all okay. So that's kind of the character. The weakest part about this character is her frames are terrible, right? So teleporting around and stuff is just absolutely a horrible, horrible feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and set players 8. And then I'm going to throw these jabs to start. Because you can just see I gained so much experience. 30% experience per zombie there. So it just helps speed up the, first couple levels here. And as well, players 8 means more drops from all these things, which means we can get our gold a little bit faster. We've got ourselves a bow with some arrows. Let's see how... Alright, we'll go ahead and shoot. It's not quite as good as early javelins, but... we're going to be getting it into magic arrow and everything anyways, so we'll go ahead and put a point there. Why not? And we'll do the den. This isn't going to be players 8 the entire way through, but bouncing around between your players 8 and players 1 can be a really good idea just to get a little bit more experience and whatnot as you're kind of playing and going. So it's strange that in my death the skill is ignored the mercs and other players that were closer and targeted me. It was weird. That's why I was so surprised. Every skeleton turned and killed me. Like, they all shot at me at the same time, despite there being a bunch of other like players and mercenaries and things closer. So we'll go ahead and put this skill point over here into crit strike. 16% chance. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And we'll just kind of continue killing a few things. But for the most part, I don't need to kill a ton right here. I just wanted to get a couple levels. I'm going to put some into dexterity, just to kind of make sure that we're continuing.
Yo, Mr. Llama, long enough for 2 babies laughing face.
Wow. Double baby. And somehow I've missed the den. Where's the den at? Is it right there? Oh, it's right there. Okay, we'll go back to the den after we push through. Okay, and then we'll do some vitality. So we will be putting points in dexterity for this playthrough, just because it's going to be, you know, a little bit difficult, right? That's just like, we need to be able to hit things. Attack rating is going to be important for us, and if we can boost our own attack rating with some dexterity, we're going to be doing that. I'm a little bit trying this build out myself as well. So, you know, do remember that like, I'm not sure I've played a physical boson. I have. I played a physical boson through the game one time. This was true. And I farmed Nightmare Mephisto until I got Bariza, and then I took that into hell. And that is actually a tough part. Also, I'm going back to Players 1 before I go in the den. That is a tough part about, you know, the game there overall. Sure I have enough arrows. 108. Should be enough for the den. But the reason, yes, somebody in chat got it. The reason I wanted to jump back in and do this is because they recently made Insight as a bow option for her to use. And that, whilst has no attack speed on it or anything, does have great damage and as well some mana regen. Obviously, you get the meditation. And so that is going to make it a lot more sustainable, and I just want to try it out. I want to see if that's going to work, if it's going to feel awful. So the base I'll make it in is probably a razor bow, if I can get one, or a double bow. Those are the two that'll roll 4 open sockets. If I find, you know, a cedar bow, if I find... well, edge bow is only 3 open sockets. You know, if I find another bow that is 4 open sockets, then I'll consider those. But those are exceptional bows, so I'm essentially just going to be looking for, you know, some sort of variety there. Something with Zon skills would be nice. Not really. Plus, Zon skills is going to be pretty meaningless to this character. Just a boson overall. Just doesn't super care about... And we need arrows. Doesn't super care about it. Now, yes, a boson overall really does not hit her stride until late game, when she can be amazing, but she has like super stacked gear. So this is, of course, playing the boson without any of that stuff, right? This is going to be solo self-found. Everything we get along the way is what we get. I'd love to drop some, you know, like a gold strike or a Bariza or something later on. That'd be amazing. But if not, so be it, you know? We'll go ahead and put 5 more points into dexterity.
An anonymous user gifted
Oh,
a tier
thank
1
you,
sub to
Anonymous.
Stoit.
Because it is good to focus that. You know, we're kind of going to have to play a little glass cannony where we really hit from afar. So, like I say, this will be a slower overall run, and especially when we're fighting bosses. Because fighting like Duriel with this character and stuff, it's awful. Truly awful.
Keep up the great content.
Thank you, Swessel. Thank you, Psych. All right. This will go on to El YouTube, as they say in Spain. Okay. Perfect. We'll get a couple more of these guys. We'll get some of these. Grab that. And we can now go check for a bow here. Nothing really else to put our skills into. I mean, I could continue to put points into critical strike, and it wouldn't be a horrible idea. So, you know, I think I will actually. I'm going to put more points into crit strike. This doubles our chance right there of doing double damage. 32% chance, 1 in 3 shots. I like that a lot. Now, for a bow here, I'd really like to look for a bow with sockets, because then I can start adding in the damage that we have right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and forth to try and get a 3 open socket hunter's bow. One hunter bow attacks a little faster, but additionally it will do a little more damage, right? So even a 2 open socket would be fine, but I just want to get a little bit right there. Because having some sockets from some of the gems, making sure not everything has to always be purely physical damage can be really nice. Poison damage in normal is kind of OP a little bit. It's very strong. So, you know, getting like a Tal bow could be really nice for us later on.
Hey Mr. Llama, thanks for all your work. I really enjoy your guides and content.
Oh. Thanks, Crestfallen. Thanks, Cedar. 2 open socket. I'm going to grab that in case I want to make a Zephyr later on. Yeah, Inner Sight could also be something we end up using later on. Yeah, if I could find a 20 poison jewel of envy, that would be amazing. Those are so good. But for now, we'll just take what we get here. And like I say, you can kind of grab whatever. Why not a longbow from Jeed? I like the attack speed on this. I don't have enough gold. Alright, I'm going to sell the diamond. And we'll replace with this. And we'll go ahead and put that in there. Okay.
C3T3R1988 gifted a tier 1 sub to Bang Booty.
Wow. Gifted sub to Bang Booty. So now our damage is, you know, picked up a little bit. We could definitely increase our player count if we wanted. So maybe we'll go to like players 3 here. Might increase it for Rakanishu. But this is also where you'll start to really note being in the right like farming spots and stuff can be really helpful for like this kind of character, you know. Want to make sure you're kind of giving yourselves that opportunity to 165 arrows. Yeah, single target damage just takes longer for sure. And we do have multi-shot later on, but Oh, that's a perfect. I was about to say, if we could get a stony field where the waypoint is right next to the stones, that would be amazing. I want 2 open socket armor for stealth later. And even if it's not immediately right next to it, honestly, having it even like kind of close isn't a horrible thing that you can, you know, use to like go and farm over and over. Because again, what is really going to help? I mean, let me do this really fast. The calculation is something like attack rating divided by attack rating minus defense rating plus character level divided by character level plus monster level times 200% maybe. Let's see. Chance to hit D2. 200% times... Oh, this is a multiplicative. And there you go. So this is the chance to hit. Obviously, it needs parentheses and blah, blah, blah. Ignore the like. Yeah. Right.
Speaking of AR with the change to bull catho set, are they still trash or now viable?
I think they'd be fun now. So, what this means is even if you have amazing attack rating, if your character level is just trash compared to the monster's level, 50% of it, of the formula, you're going to be like struggling to hit still. So having a good attack rating and having a high enough character level, which is going to be tough, both will equal a much better chance of hitting. Right? So that's just very important to note, because a lot of times it's like, you know, you get your AR up a lot or something in this, but if your character level is just garbage, you're still just going to have such a difficult time hitting. So this is where we can come in and say, hey, when we can do farming on spots like this, spots like the tower, whatever it is, I'm going to go to players 8. We'll give it a try. This is where you can check Cold Plains for experience shine. This is where it can be worth a lot for you. Cedar!
You are an inspiration to us all.
Thank you. So I could spend just a little time over leveling on Rakanishu here. It's gonna be a little hard. Players 8 was maybe a bit much to go after. Bit off a little bit more than we could potentially chew, but we're doing okay. Now we have this. We can grab a point in multi-shot. Which is also helpful with our poison damage. And we can go ahead and grab this. Now, multi-shot does cost a lot of mana. Build already struggling. Again, this is players 8. So there is complete expectation for this build to quote-unquote struggle right here. So we have this. Additionally, we have now at level 6 Strangling Gas Potions, which can be a fantastic help. No experience there. With all of these minions. So this is a great place to get a little bit extra, and you can already see I'm hitting so much more often now that I've leveled up just a couple times. Like just from a couple times of leveling, it's already completely different. I'm hitting so much more. And we can play around with our build a little bit. Ooh, 2 to max damage, 9% enhanced damage though. We'll go ahead and put it in here. Why not? 2 to max. There's an experience shrine for us. We like that. Again, we can drop poison into here if we want.
Move.
You'll definitely find poison gas potions all through normal. SZ are actually quite effective. So don't be afraid of using those at all. And this is also where we get to kind of use a lot of pieces of gear that a lot of times you don't use. An example of this might be, you know, a +1 to max damage ring. That's actually like kind of nice for us right now. You know? And now we're level 8. We can continue. And if you're ever running out of strangling gas potions and you're like, oh, I need more of these, you can always sell them and then buy them back. Same with like this, right? I need more ID scrolls. I sell the tome. I buy it back. Now it's full. 63 to attack rating. That's actually fantastic for this character. I'm also going to replace my arrows, but I can always sell these potions. Now it's 25 out of 25. Buy it back. Perfect. Now it's max quantity again. We can go continue to kill. I'm going to go ahead and put 5 more in dexterity and then 5 there, and we'll go up to 25 strength as well. This will be good for belt, but also some of the bows that we'll eventually be using are going to have 25 strength, like a razor bow is 25 strength required and stuff. So that'll be something that we'll want later on. Zeter with 5 gifted subs, dropping some love for everyone there. Thank you, Zeter. We can also look, of course, if we wanted to put more points here, but the mana cost does go up for multi-shot every point that we put into it. And so that does get, you know, it's like getting more arrows is great, but we burn through mana so fast. I probably won't be doing a ton of multi-shot until later on. We could, of course, put some points into energy, which isn't horrible to start out with there. But it is still like, you know, a little bit tough, I would say. Getting plus to mana from somewhere else would be great. That's good. Even some mana leech we're not really going to be able to leech a ton from. So unfortunately that as well won't generally do, you know, as much for us until we really have like a solid bow later on. But Insight will be a solid bow that can help us, and at that point we might look at getting into it more. But using multi-shot, even when it has a lower mana cost, is still nice, right? Having just like a dual split arrow, right? That's nice. Because all you're doing whenever you do a multi-shot is you're just splitting the arrow into multiple arrows. And you're like, obviously. But what I'm saying is it's not like it also is increasing the damage or anything. It's only if you're hitting more mobs that you're actually getting that damage increase. Still can't get a 2-up socket there. But we're level 10 right here, which is fantastic. And like I said, this is just a great place to just farm up a little bit, right? Start getting over leveled against stuff. If you want, like I say, you can put some points into energy. You know, there's 5 points in energy. We're up to 36 mana. I could go even more. That could be even more helpful. You know, that's just kind of stuff we'll get into later. I'm going to go ahead and put more points in dexterity. I'm really liking this chance to hit that we're rocking here. We'll check for an experience shrine. Don't get one. And now I'm hitting all the time on these guys because not only do I have good attack rating, but also my level is in a great spot. And that is very helpful for this character. Hustle is very solid, yes. That'll be something that later on, you know, we'd love to get, but we need to, of course, get the runes. You can always refresh your arrows by just clicking on arrows. And we can continue on. If you wanted to keep leveling there, you totally could. But I'm just going to move forward. So we have +5 to skills. I'm going to put 1 into dodge. It's actually really, really nice having dodge, avoid, and evade now because they kind of fixed it. You can also, of course, run inner sight. This will just help for lowering defense, making it even easier to hit. Right now, not a big deal, but just something that we can think about there. Now, of course, later on, we'll be looking at, do I want more points in multi-shot? Do I want more points in guided arrow? I think right now, I'm going to go up to 3 skills in multi-shot. Yeah. I'm gonna go for 3 skills there. We definitely will want every point into penetrate as soon as we hit level 18. So making sure we have skills that we're gonna be using for that will be good. But like I said, I don't want to overdo the mana cost, but having a few arrows can be really nice, especially heading into some of these areas like this, just to kind of clean up, a larger group of monsters. Gives us a little bit of AoE, right? And by slowing down a little bit and taking time to kill some of these mobs, it improves the experience in the playthrough really a lot, just because we're able to hit stuff a lot better, right? We're not constantly in this fear of that we're never going to be able to hit stuff, and it's just awful. Because that's probably one of the worst feelings in Diablo 2, is when you're sitting there just shooting over and over at something and never hitting it, which will potentially eventually be our future. But if we can put that off for a bit at least, that'll be really nice. Okay, dead end there.
I need mana. I need mana.
And that, for instance, that ring right there is like a godly ring for us. Damn CRs, whatever. But having like plus attack rating on a ring is just so nice for this character. Okay, we'll go back and get mana. Why not play Firebow first? Because this is a physical playthrough. Yeah, it would be better to play Fire first and just play Exploding Arrow and all of that stuff. That would be technically faster. But that's, not what this run is. We'll go ahead and do more Vitality. This should start cutting downwards, so we probably don't really want to actually go up here. I'd be shocked if that was actually the way. Most likely just continuing straight or a little left and up. Tough map sometimes. But yeah, even here, just being able to kind of lay into a couple mobs. Again, I mean, I'm on Players 8, which is, Players 8 is tough. But the experience gains from Players 8 are very high. And we can also get, a lot of, nice items. But it helps us kind of keep up with being over-leveled versus areas, I would say. So we love killing bosses, and we love killing boss minions. You can see that said demon minion when I hovered over it. Let's go ahead and grab this. Ethereal. Man, we just cannot find 2 open socket, can we? Necro single player playthrough. Honestly, Summon is great in its own way. Bone is great. If you want to do a poison, it's not as good on a playthrough, but it's still possible and kind of fun in its own way. So there's really a lot of options, I would say. Yeah, this multi-shot is feeling really nice right now, though. The only issue, of course, with it is mana. But we can help that out some because we can go for tier runes to get some mana per kill. So that'll probably be our main look when we're getting through the tower. We'd love to get Talon S, just because we can make stealth, which helps with fast run walk, all of this. But if we can get tier runes as well, mana per kill, get like 4 mana per kill or something, would be really, really big for this character. It's a tough boss here. Extra fast. So we will just lay down the poison and let them kind of poison themselves and then get some shots in as we go. Alright, so we hit level 12. We can get a point in the void as well now. And nothing else over here for bow and crossbow. If we were doing exploding arrow, we could do that, of course. But, I mean, I have a single chipped emerald. I'm not a sudden poison boson.
Go, go, go. Kill
But
them
you
all.
would be a fool to not take advantage of all the, you know, gems and other pieces that come along. Thank you, Toka! Charms can also be a big help here. We'll see what we can find. But if we could get attack rating and stuff on them, that could be great. Really a lot of things that would be very solid with a charm. And again, here you can see, like, this is tough, right? This is not just free, easy kills. You gotta do some work. And Treehead is really a pain because he's all up on you. So he makes it even worse. More difficult there. Maybe that one's 2 open sockets. Nope. All good. I'm gonna go 5 more points into energy, and we find ourselves the tower and the, oh no, not the tower, excuse me. But we do find ourselves the waypoint, which is nice. And we can go back. I guess multi-shot does enhance guided arrow and stuff now, so getting more points there will be nice. However, we don't need FCR right now, so we'll just go like this and get more mana potions. And better for Infinity than Mancatcher? I think it's comparable. I'd say Cryptic Axe is more comparable. Mancatcher is lower damage but faster speed on it, so... So yeah, more points in multi-shot will be good because it will be enhancing our guided arrow and strafe. But we do want to be careful with over putting points right now because, again, having a wide spread is great. But if I'm only shooting at like 4 or 5 monsters, then the wider spread isn't really helping me at all. It's just costing more mana, right? Because the damage isn't changed. Yes, our baby is here. Thank you. So we can mix and match our damage here. With the poison and the strangling. It's a tough group. Tough group. I am on players 8 still. Yes. Which, like I say, is, you know, it's gonna make it a longer process for sure to kill these guys. But, and like, I'm not gonna kill Griswold here, you know, forget him. But the experience will be nice. This just is, you know, a little bit of a tough group here. Go after. Now, oh, something else I really should state. I guess I'll state that soon. Where you click your mouse will determine if you do a narrow shot or a wide shot. So you'll notice the further away my mouse is, the more narrow the arrows are. The closer, the more widespread they are. So you'll want to use this just to your advantage as you're noting down how mobs are, right? Oh, these guys are getting, you know, really close to me, whatever. I need to get more spread shot. Oh, they're all standing pretty far away. I want that right there. That'll be an important thing for you to just take note of. And this is true for a lot of the skills in D2 that have that ability. Why do I need randomizer runs again? Yeah, we could do some randomizers again in the future. Go ahead and just put this stuff away. Get some more potions. And we'll go more vitality. I guess I can save Kane. If I must.
Deckard Kane, go to the rogues' camp without delay.
Without delay. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and look for the tower. As we'll spend plenty of time down there. Getting levels and everything we need. Hunter's bow, just 2 open sockets. If it was 3 open sockets, I'd probably consider it.
Not enough mana. Not enough mana.
These champion Bloodhawks. Mm-hmm. Do this so we can lower their health.
Not enough mana.
And again, let's go ahead and find where we need to go. Where is our tower? Hopefully not crazy far, but it's looking like it might be. Looking like it might be far. Do an updated summon Necro without Merce bugging. Yeah, I mean, Merce bugging is not a thing. I'm basically going through and redoing all my guided playthroughs, plus creating new ones here. And the tower is non-existent. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put a TP here and then just go to the next waypoint since it's close this way, but obviously we could just go down into the tower right now if we really wanted. Grab another ring, see if we get more attack rating. We do not. Is brand worth making? More skellies. I'm actually gonna skip them. We could fight them, but they've got high poison res and it's just gonna be kind of annoying. So we'll just kind of keep going with the stalkers here, see what we got. More archers.
It's locked.
So knowing the various mobs and their like resist and things can be really good to know what has high physical res, what has high like lightning resist.
I need mana.
A lot of that you can just learn from playing, but you can also of course go look up on sites to see more. Go ahead, 1 max damage. I'll go ahead and put that in there. And we'll get rid of that. Perfect. Yes, and typically if a monster becomes immune in hell to that thing, then it was resistant to it before. Experience Shrine, beautiful. And we'll take that down into here and see how well we can do. Now always be careful of Cursed. Or of course stuff like extra strong archers and things that can just be really nasty. Your strangling gas potions will definitely come in handy here as well.
The Everest base camp hike. 100 miles over 10,000 feet with epic snowstorms, beautiful views, and came back to your D2R videos nursing a cold. Totally worth it.
You did Everest? I feel like you were just here. How long was it? Oh, to base camp. Okay. Still, very cool. GG. Is to base camp a lot cheaper than going to Everest? The full scale? Alright, so there's that. We'll go ahead and put a couple more points into dexterity and then vitality. Base camp is 2,000, Everest is 100k. Seems about right. Poison potion for physical, is that legal? Yes. I mean, again, you don't have to shoot your poison potions if you don't want. It'll just be slightly better. Okay, we got our 2 open socket helmet. This will be perfect for our tier runes. Also, you could do brand. Somebody was asking me for. Just use that for gold. And if you ever run into a boss group that's just way too difficult to kill, especially if you're on players 8 like I am right now, just skip it. You don't need to try and fight it. 1 max damage. 3 all res. Love it. First time watching Let's Play live? Nice. Oh my gosh. Bro, aren't you supposed to go to the hospital if you have like under 90% oxygen or something? These devilkins and stuff are pretty good though. They're not too bad for killing. Under 92% you're supposed to go. And this dude was just chilling out there at 65%. Well, in America you don't go. Yeah, obviously. I'm not paying $5 grand just to go in. Alright, players 1 I'm going to do before I go down to level 5. You can also do it just in level 5, whatever. But the point is we want to spawn or kill the Countess on players 1. So even if you spawn her on players 8, that's fine. You need to make sure you kill her on players 1 though. Yeah, I mean gas and fire potions honestly have great benefit. And the reason is this is how you get much better drops from her for runes. It's actually reverse of everything else. That's not a great sample there to show, but in general you will get much better runes, more runes. Not better runes, but more runes. Okay. We'll sell there, sell there. See what we get. 1 defense, magic damage reduced. Neither of those hit what we're looking for. Get some more mana potions. And can put this in here. Just kind of want to make sure I, make some space. Can also go look for a 2-open socket armor from Charcy. Just make sure it's gray. That is 1, but it's 27 strength. And we can also look at just, 8 to mana on that. I will grab. I like 8 to mana. 6 to energy on a helm as well. I also will grab for now until we get tier runes later on, because just having more plus mana for me is going to be very helpful. Also, someone asked why I'm not preparing for the server slam, and my answer is, what is there to prepare? Okay. We know it's coming. Okay. We'll go back to players 8. Stop off if we want and shoot a couple shots. Over here. Still actually worth some experience at level 14. That's how long you could be just farming Rakanisha if you wanted. Still some experience. And we'll rush tower now. Now, killing those boss groups, remember, is worth a lot. So that is definitely, a big benefit whenever you can find boss groups like that, especially boss groups around your level like that. They are going to give you way more experience. 500% experience, to be exact. Okay, we still have a 95% chance to hit right there, so we're doing great on that. Yeah, Boson has plenty of issues.
Just want to complain that my Mr. Lamask mug broke.
No!
Apparently, it is not gravity-proof and will break when dropped from 5 feet.
I'm sorry. I feel like I sold it as a gravity-proof. That's my bad. Now, of course, one of the difficulties is that this is a little bit like D4. Some rare boots. 15 to attack rating. We'll take it. This is a little bit like D4 in that when you level up in Diablo 2 on a character like this, especially because multi-shot isn't like adding damage, I'm not really gaining a lot of power when I'm leveling up, right? Similar to D4, you actually get weaker as you level up, but that's because monsters dynamically scale. Here you don't have that silliness, but you still do have the general difficulty there, unlike, an elemental character, finally to open socket, where, you get that next point in and then you're doing really more damage. So here you're not quite getting as much as you might like there. Also, multi-shot archers, we gotta be careful in terms of gaining that damage, but the nice thing is every time we do level up, chance to hit improves if it was under 95%, which it's not right now. And it does work us towards eventually getting, better gear, better bows, better all of that stuff. So it is different from D4, but it still does have a similar idea a little bit there where you're not feeling as much of that gain in your damage and just boost of your character as you would with another. Take her out. So we're level 15. New Dota 2, that's right. Dota 3. basically. It's crazy. And we'll go down to players 1. And we have more points here, and we'll put them into vitality. Ithtal. Still need Eth, and would still love some tier runes. Can put those over there for now. Go get more mana. Go get more arrows. Again, if you ever need more arrows and they're not being sold wherever you're at, just sell the arrows and buy them back. And all your problems are solved. Will this end up stray for multi-shot? I don't know. We'll just kind of play around and see what we feel like playing there. Now, I'm actually going to be on players... I don't know if I want to go up to players 8 again. It'll be better for experience, obviously, but slower, and I just kind of want to get through now that we're like almost level 16. It feels like just getting the Ethrune and whatnot. I'm going to go to players 5. Kind of a nice in-between. Might be worth some experience still. But will be faster kills overall. Cold Enchanted Archers are not very fun. But we can get the job done. How to ladder efficiently. I feel like I've got video about that in some capacity. Slightly different maybe how it's written. Okay. So now we're 16, one more level and we'll have our stealth if we can get the Ethrune, which will be very nice. Why no mercenary? We actually could be running a mercenary now. It's not a bad idea. I kind of forget mercenaries exist some of the times. But that would be a little boost of damage for us. We'll definitely, I was definitely planning on getting like an Act 2 mercenary with Blessed Aim just to help us get even more attack rating there. The Act 1 AI is kind of annoying, but she would be mildly helpful at the very least. Like I say, she'll be more DPS, so we can just grab a bunch of stuff. And we will go 5 more to Vitality. Get our life up a little bit. I don't have the runes for Zephyr yet. Plus Zephyr will be later on anyways. We would need, or that's level 21. So we'd need 3 Rao runes to get there, which we could farm 3 Rao runes from down here. Remember, go to players 1. But that'll just kind of be what we want to do. A little bit tedious at this level, slightly. If we were just doing players 1 through all of this, we'd be, you know, we'd probably have a few more runs. If we got lucky and just got 2 Tau runes on 1 run, then we could definitely look at that. But right now, we are very short on our runes. And get the rare 1 in 64 no rune drop. Classic. Alright, let's see what we got. Nothing and nothing. Doesn't happen often. She can drop 0 runes, but it don't happen that often, I'll tell you what. Why not? But it's all good. We are leveling up still. And we can always just try and move as, you know, well as we can through the areas here. We don't have to stop and kill all this stuff. This is just kind of if we want to. Again, over leveling is not a horrible thing on this character. So it's kind of why we're doing it, but not a big deal. Now, a little bit of mana leech would actually probably do okay on this character. I don't think it would be a horrible pickup. We don't have a ton of physical damage, but it could get a little bit of steel back here and there. So if we did find some sort of ring or something with it right now, it'd be one of those. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll grab it. And we can actually do this. Let's go back really fast. And we'll go ahead and grab Kyoko. I like a fire exploding arrow one because at level 12 she can use that, whereas she can't use the freezing arrow right now. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this just for a little bit of added damage. She's not the smartest with her AI. There you go, shoot people. That's good. And level 17 coming up soon. Gets us that stealth. When we get the Ethrune, which hopefully we can just snag on this round, but we'll just have to see. And I'm just kind of gearing her with whatever I can find right now. Not crazy important. At this level especially, she's getting a lot of her damage from her own exploding arrow and stuff, so. It's not a huge deal, but. Level 4. Yeah, if they could fix the AI on the Act 1 Merce, it would help a lot. She's just not very bright. Otherwise, not terrible changes. Okay, remember, go down to players 1 for Countess. And yeah, there's just so many runes that I really wish we could have got here. We've got 3 runes from 3 Countess runs. Pretty poor. On top of that, not even great runes. We do have a couple towels if we did want to do some sort of like towel bow. Which is not a terrible bow idea. Definitely helps for the early parts. But we're just having a tough time with runes, man. You can't be getting a single rune every single drop. No runes? What's going on? This is wild. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. And jeez, I'd rather just put in these Tau runes, honestly. So we can take a look and we can go over the different pieces, right? So the options we have are Zephyr and Tau Tau Tau. Now, Zephyr gives a little bit of ED, which doesn't do a lot right now because the bows aren't going to be very strong, so that won't be much. 66 attack rating is nice. Adds 1 to 50 lightning damage, which isn't bad. A little bit of minus target defense, which is helpful. And then fast run walk and increased attack speed, which are great. However, with our mana problems, IAS is going to be kind of difficult. So this is something that I much prefer for like an elemental boson, as opposed to for a physical boson, just because the IAS right now is not really helping us a ton. And I mean, like, this is, you know, nice, and the little added lightning damage is nice, but getting 225 poison damage right now is probably going to be better. But it's good to at least always, you know, take a look, see how it's going there. See what looks like it might be better. Okay, and we're still hitting 95% there, so we still feel great on that. And we have a bunch of plus skills still, but I don't feel the need to burn through any of those. We have our 17. At this point, especially, the tower's really not going to be getting us that much experience. So I'm just going to kind of run a couple times through, because I just want to get to the runes pretty much as fast as possible. I'm not gaining much experience now at level 17 anymore in the tower. That's kind of where I would say it really starts to peak out when you're on players 8, before you're really just losing a lot of time for very little gain. So, just gonna run through. And we have a little bit of a long map as well, which isn't great. Each one of these tower levels kind of runs a bit too long, which is just, you know, unfortunate. You can always pick up rejuves. Save those for later. Those can be great in hell when you're just running short. You can have a whole little tab full of them, or just, you know, have 20 of them in your inventory, stash, whatever it is. Can be always nice. No, our sorceress died. I am on players 1. You can always double check. My goal, like I said, is just to get here and get to the Countess. So I can just get at least Ethrune. Like I said, I would love Tier Rune. Getting a couple more Tals would be great as well. There's an Eth, so that's at least something. Will it be boson or just leveling? I don't understand the question. So we have Tal Eth, we get a 2-open socket, and we make stealth. Faster run walk, faster cast rate, faster hit recovery, 6 dexterity. The faster run walk is really nice here, and the hit recovery is not bad. The dexterity is good, and then a little regen mana as well. We also are going to enjoy. So this will make these other runs a little bit faster too. Yeah, I won't be doing Nightmare today for sure. Or, I mean, Hell for sure. This is, we're going to go through, generally for the guided playthroughs, we do Normal, Nightmare, and Hell in 3 different parts. Can I switch to Jabazon later? I will not be switching to Jabazon. This will be a physical Boazon the entire way through. We'll be using the physical skills and committing to that. Now, because this isn't a super skill intense or skill heavy character, we will definitely be looking at getting some points in like Valkyrie later on, right? That'll probably be... I mean, we could go no Valk and just go multi-shot guided arrow strafe if we wanted, if I want to get into using strafe. I actually don't like strafe as much for this, but we could potentially look at it. I might just do multi-shot guided arrow and then use the other points for other skills. This is a playthrough that I actually do really enjoy. I think this, to me, fits what Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 were about, and like what the actual feel of the game is like. Make sure you're on players 1. They're really, you know, you're really committed and feeling your character, I feel like, a lot more. So I love doing like difficulty ones like this. Okay, Ethrune. There's some gloves. Could also grab the longbow for our girl. Three to 10, 5% mana stolen per hit. Nice. So another Ethrune is, you know, it's alright if we want that. And go again to the Black Marsh and keep going. Yeah, you might as well imbue the diadem. Nothing else to really do with it. That's where I like to use my imbues. I like to collect chips as well. You can use them for re-rolling stuff later on. That can be worth good money, which can just be helpful. Will you switch your playtime between D2 and D4? I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to start Diablo 4, and then it'll just come down to how good is the game. Am I enjoying it? Do I want to keep playing it, switching it, all that stuff? Or do I want to go back to playing D2? You know. It's all just kind of the waiting room for Llama RPG anyways, but you know. Okay. Make sure we're on players 1 again, of course. And I would love 2 Tau runes. Be my god drop right now. Instead we get 1 Ethrune. It's tough, man. 1 rune at a time from the Countess is killing me. Sheesh. Alright. I'm going to look for a 3 open socket bow again. It's looking great. No release date yet, but keep your eyes and ears peeled.
Greetings.
There's a 3 open socket, but it's on a short bow.
What can I do for
Might just have to start with the single tau we have and then hope for more towels along the way.
you? Good day.
Could potentially be the way it goes.
Good to see
We'll have to check with Warren how beta's coming along.
Good day.
There we go. Alright, 3 open sockets, and we can put 1 tau rune in there. Now we get much more damage. I'm gonna go to players 8 and go to Outer Cloister just to try and take advantage of this shrine that we have.
This is the site of
I'm gonna put one more point into multi-shot as well. And continue forward. See if we can get that level up here. I really wish we'd gotten more Tau runes there, some Rao runes, some Tier runes. It kind of is really disappointing how bad the runes were that we got. I might consider going back to just try and get, you know, a couple more runes, because that really was a pretty bad selection. We got our stealth, but that's about it. Okay, so we have Cursed here, so we need to stand far enough away from our mercenary in case she gets hit. We don't want to get Cursed as well. There we go, she got Cursed. Perfect, alright. Avoided that. That is how that works, yes. Still a good chance to hit, because we have stayed over leveled, which is great. Pick up some arrows. And we'll go ahead and get the Imbue quest.
The sisters will be glad to have this back.
Is it 3/4 poison damage or only 3/4 physical damage? Only 3/4 physical damage. So we're still dealing max poison damage. Oh no, our mercenary died.
What nightmarish tortures took place here?
And see what we got there. Poison length reduced, 2 to light radius. Nothing quite there for us. We're closing in on 18 here, which is nice. Check out the secret room.
I need a key.
Why is the game called Resurrected? Because they remastered the old one, so it's like they're resurrecting the game. Physical boson guide. I'm using only the physical skills. We obviously are currently using some elemental damage, but that really will only stick through in normal and maybe a tiny bit of nightmare. Honestly, we're going to be shifting into the physical damage more later on. But early bows are just so bad for physical damage. There just like really isn't physical damage early on. It's really sad. So, alright, we have level 18. We'll put one in cold arrow so we can get guided arrow. And, of course, we will go and get penetrate. If you want to get slow missile and all this, or towards decoy and stuff now, you totally can. But we'll go ahead and run that. And we'll run here. Now, guided arrow is mana cost 8. It always hits, though. And it's 48% damage, but again, that damage is going to be the physical damage. So, again, that'll start getting benefit later on, as opposed to kind of right now where we don't really have a lot of physical damage. But the always hits is really nice. Let's try another run here. And we'll go to players 1. Because every town run we can get right now is a lot of added damage, so. And we're pretty good on all this. I'm going to put a couple more points to energy. And then we can go vitality. Now, for many of you, you've read guides, and every guide that you have read has said, "What are you doing? Don't you dare put points into energy. It's a complete waste." And they're pretty much correct in that they're always looking at the end game. And at the end of the game, putting points into energy is pretty pointless usually. But while you're playing through this game, especially on characters that are using skills that require a decent amount of mana, to not put points in energy is honestly just a giant hindrance and is going to slow you down a ton. So make sure that you're always being aware of your energy, of your mana, and if you need more, grab a little bit more. You can always respec out of it later on when you don't need it. Okay. Tal Neff. Okay. It's another Tal rune, which we do like, as that boosts our damage up plenty. We have enough to make another Ith rune if we wanted, though we'd lose all those Eths and everything there. 1 to strength, all of that, not worth anything. Gold, 4 to minimum damage. 8 to fire res. Could be a little nice for a little physical. But having a jewel isn't bad anyways overall. And we'll put away these things here. And go get some more potions. Is there attack rating in Llama RPG? There is accuracy in Llama RPG, but you always are going to hit. At least right now. Maybe I'll put a small chance to miss. You're always going to hit in Llama RPG. It's just, do you have a glancing blow, or do you have like a heavy strike with it? What's your chance there? Okay, so we'll continue forward here. And yes, for those asking what slash players is, probably a tiny bit late. Essentially, you're scaling the game as if there's more players in the game. Thus, you will get more experience for killing mobs, but the monsters also will be harder to kill. They'll do more damage, all of that. Attack rating is pretty rough in D2, and I'm not even mad that there's like, a chance to miss your attack exactly, but the way it just comes about is so bad with like the character level and all of this stuff, and then spellcasters don't have to worry about it, and the implementation ends up being rough. Now, if you want, you can totally go farm Andariel. Maybe put on a little bit of magic find gear that you like shop or something. And you can kill Andariel a few times and see if you can grab a nice unique, because there really are some good uniques for this character that Andariel can drop, right? She can obviously drop some things like Hisara's boots and stuff, but she can drop like Blood Fist. I would say Blood Fist is probably the best item that we could get there. Nice life on it, little IAS on it, would be really big. So, Biggin's bonnet isn't bad. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few items here. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the unique bows are going to be pretty meh that are going to be dropped. If we can get like a Kuko Shikaku later on or something, that would be nice. But This is just normal right now. We've just been spending our time leveling up, getting our runes. Make sure you enter level 4 on players 1. I believe when you enter level 4, that is what Andariel spawns on. So if you want to fight her on a higher player count, you know, have fun. That's all your choice there. Now we can always shoot her with guided arrows. Remember, these will always hit. So it's nice. And of course, they also will dodge in to make sure they, you know, hit as well, right? So even if you kind of miss, they'll go and hit anyways. I would definitely say the hardest going to hell from Nightmare is a pretty big wall for this character. It's really hard if you don't have a good bow. Okay. And just like that, Act 1 is completed. Give yourselves the clap, everybody. You are all done with that. Level 18, moving forward. We've got 2 of our 3 Tau runes right there, which is nice. We got ourselves a nice amulet. 16 to attack rating, 1 to max damage, 10 to mana, 5 fire res, 6 energy. Really, it's great for mana, 6 energy and 10 to mana. It's almost 20 mana right there. And then, you know, a tiny bit of attack rating and stuff is nice because we do have, you know, the boost from Penetrate right there. So that's boosting it up even more. So, very happy with that. We can now shop ourselves a 3-slot belt. We can get rid of all these minor mana potions, which are awful. We can look for some gloves or something that give us a little bit of attack rating if we want. And fill up on better potions for us. And I'm just clicking and spamming enter when I do this, by the way. And we can check out Elzix. Elzix is always a great place to shop. And here you can see what I was talking about before. Get yourself some like big magic find gloves. Can be a really solid way to play. Because now I have 25 MF. Which is really big. We'll go up to players 8. And we'll keep on keeping on. Champion Beetles, fantastic experience. Watch my experience bar as these guys die. Just disgusting how good they are. Absolutely disgustingly good. Beautiful. Champion Beetles are like some of the best experience in the game. Oh, I actually still have really good attack rating, but we can go get a mercenary as well. I'll do that at my next little stop. And level 19. Go ahead and put another point in Penetrate. I'm going to keep boosting that up for sure, as I definitely want to make sure I'm able to hit. And the Guided Arrow is going to give more damage to multi-shot anyways, so we want to be bumping Guided Arrow up. Because that is actually a great way to boost your damage on multi-shot without boosting the mana cost. Like right now, every point I put into multi-shot gives me, of course, another arrow, but I'm not getting additional damage. Whereas by using guided, I'm not increasing that mana cost, and I'm getting big damage boost to multi-shot when I eventually do go physical with it. And that's going to be really nice. But this is player's 8 right here. I mean, you can see we're doing just great. Poison is really solid. You have great poison damage from the Tau runes. And we'll go ahead and go more vitality. Bosons are pretty expensive late game for sure. Dual hunter's bows. One sock. One sock. Okay. But now the experience is rolling in again. So again, it's kind of like leveling to 17 in the tower and getting 2-3 tower runes, whatever you can get, is really solid. And then moving forward to Act 2 and leveling in Act 2. You know, out here, once you've got these tower runes, is very helpful. Oh, it's dead-ended. Okay. Where did I place a boson into tier list? I mean, if it's not fully geared, it's pretty low. You know, it's definitely slower. But I think a lot of times playing these lower tiered, you know, characters can actually be a more fun way to play the game. Especially if you're someone who, you know, hates Enigma and all the teleporting and all of the speed of everything going on and all that, which I get. This is a great way to like play against all that and just enjoy. Now, endgame boson is pretty solid. Half freeze duration and 1 max damage. 2 to attack rating. Not really a lot from those. I'll keep looking. We will keep looking. Just re-rolled into a Javazon? Yeah, I mean, Javazons are much stronger. For sure. Okay, we'll grab the Eld for a hustle later on if we can get it. That would be a nice addition for us. No clue. We'll find the Halls of the Dead later. We'll go ahead and just level up right now. Add the charm. Another point there. Another point to penetrate. And I guess I do want to go back. We can go ahead and sell a few things over here. 6 to life, sure, why not? 74 attack rating. Love that over 1 max damage for sure. Getting little attack rating rings and stuff can be really nice. Now, I will give up this 15 attack rating for 10 fast run walk. That's just nice. And 5 more points that we can put over here. Additionally, we can also go and work on our mercenary. So let's go ahead and start getting him going. Oops. Sure, we've got those on there. So we want to get a Blessed Aim. We'll get Kasim. Nah, we'll get Golzar.
I'll put that to good use.
Just give him whatever there. And then, of course, getting him a nice weapon with some damage will be very helpful. So we'll just see. I mean, that's nice. Sure.
I'll put that to good use.
Okay. Still going for edge with this character. There's better options. We'll look later on at insight, edge, kind of all the different pieces and take a look at some of the bows and see what we want to go for. So down here, I'm actually going to go back to players 1 because I don't really want to have to fight all these skeletons on players 8. It's just not a fun experience. You can always press shift and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and it'll give that potion to your mercenary. Just a fun little tip. So yeah, we'll take a look at all the little like bows and rune words and stuff, because that will be something to kind of plan for as we get a little bit later on. But additionally, a lot of it will also just come down to what rune do we get. You know, I would love to make a hustle, for instance, but if I don't get, what is it, Shale Co Eld? If I don't get a Co rune, all right, well, I guess I'm not making it. But what if instead I find a Lem rune? All right, well now maybe Treachery is opening up, you know? Do I want to do that, or do I want to be, you know, going for the Harmony? Do I want to go for Edge Bow? Do I want to go for all sorts of questions? How long are we going to keep Insight before we want to shift out of that? Lots of questions to be asked. And we'll grab our cube.
I can't carry anymore.
And go home. But right now, none of those are crazy important. We're just keeping all the runes that we do have. Do find along the way.
Good evening.
Go back to players 8. And back into the Fire Oasis. There's the Maggot Lair. We also might have a really good map here where we could potentially farm Beetle Burst if he's over there.
I can't carry anymore.
Guess he is not. It's okay. I was gonna say that could be a good place though for some more farming if we want to do that. But there was at least a beetle boss group there, so there could potentially still be more beetle boss groups in the future there. So it's still not ruled out as somewhere to, like, you know, potentially check. So we'll see what we get. But 6 fire res, why not? That's just something else to note, right? Looking again for the next place to kind of farm up if I want to get a little bit of levels on the way, or levels, you know, paused really fast while I'm at a spot. That can be a great place to do so. Also, one of the really nice things about this character is arrows do drop all over the place if you actually start to look for them. So you rarely have to go back to town and like spend a lot of time getting arrows. A lot of times you'll just get them just from existing and running around. Okay, here's our Beetle Burst. Perfect. And with this next level up, we of course can go more into Penetrate and more into Guided Arrow. You can see we're already at 123% multi-shot damage, which again, we're not doing a ton of physical damage right now, but in the future that could be really nice. Great way to kind of boost it up. She has an arrow drop passive. No, but arrows just drop a lot in this game if you actually like play through it for a bit. Does Crushing Blow work for Boson? Yes, at half capacity. So for ranged characters, Crushing Blow is only halfway working. But that's still plenty, you know.
I need a key.
Yeah. Mr. Dark Elder, level up our mercenary. And where are the snakes? Gear Lube, thank you very much. Mwah. Welcome back for 10 months. Appreciate that. Friend got you to play for the first time. It might actually be right up here to the left. Oh no, because that's up there, so it won't. It's gonna be over here. Yeah, like I say, right now we're just kind of doing the like bows with runes, and you know you can put gems, whatever, in there. But in the future, we'll definitely shift into a physical bow. It just takes a tiny bit to even get to a point where you can make a physical bow that could be decent. Like even if we made
I know what I'm doing.
whatever that bow is right now, Zephyr, it still would be very hard to get any damage on it. There's 33% enhanced damage on normal bows is just like no damage whatsoever. It's really sad. They need to do a whole overhaul of the normal and exceptional weapons and increase their damage. They forgot to do it, and it's really been such a plague for physical characters for so long. Yeah, I mean, you could always have it as on the offhand one. Yep, physical characters just have it rough, man. Okay. And remember, this is Players 8 still. Which is, you know, a little crazy at first when you think about it. You're like, wow, why are you running, you know. I guess we'll do that instead. Players 8 on such a weak character, but it really helps her keep up. It really helps her have that, you know, damage continue to move with the character there. My favorite character for a casual gameplay through the game. I mean, this is definitely up there with one of my favorites. Just because I love boazons, I love ranger classes and just bows and elf, you know, whatever styles in general. And so, you know, this is nice. But also, it's very much a challenge of a character, and I like that. Okay, we're starting to lose our chance to hit a little bit, so I'm going to put a little bit more up there. Obviously, that's before Blessed Aim, but just good to note. And then we'll put the rest into Vitality. No, it's just from the previous level up. Be careful on level 2. It's very dangerous. With Fang Skin. If you don't have your mercenary to like help you protect yourself there, it's going to be quite tough. Also, we get our first unique of the game. Unfortunately, Blood Crescent. If only that was a bow, you know? Obviously the damage is still really low, but otherwise it would be quite fantastic.
Let there be light.
Yeah, barbs are also some of my favorite characters to play. I just love characters that you just kind of take your time with and you're just going through, and I don't know. It's really fun to me. 17% hit recovery, we'll take that instead.
Good day.
There's a lot of good gear you can shop, especially once you get to Nightmare. We'll probably do some good shopping. And for Oasis time, we'll go to Players 1 because, let's be honest, you don't want to be in the Maggot Lair on Players 8. That's just... You don't want to do it, I promise you. If you're ever curious how to read these maps, just Google Map Hack in your mind, Diablo 2, or put that in on my YouTube channel, either one. And I have a whole video that goes through basically all of that, how to know where to run on every single map and give yourself the best chance of finding what you're looking for.
I can't carry anymore.
Level 2. Now the nice thing is this character is at least better in the Maggot Lair than a lot of characters because arrows you can, you know, shoot through. So you're not just having to hit one mob at a time. So that part is beneficial. Okay. But I still wouldn't want to be in here on a high players count. Just because if you run into weird stuff at these like turns and things, it can just take a long time to kill and be super annoying. There's just better places to farm out and more open areas, you know? I think that's the best way to say it. It's like, why farm down here when there other places exist to farm that are just better? How am I doing as the family? Good. A little tired, you know, but that's, you know, to be expected. Just got a new baby and stuff, so it's gonna happen. Is there ever a time we use crossbows? Bariza would be, you know, one that would be great for shifting into eventually. There's our chest. But it can be tough, Mabel. It gets easier when they become mobile? Okay, good, thank goodness. I thought that would be harder, but if it gets easier then, I appreciate that. I prefer warrior over master, if you want to get one. Yeah, we're at 6.5 weeks right now. So she's super cute. But she's also getting fussy. Digestive system is, you know, at its peak right now. How much is a unit annie worth? Not a ton, but maybe a little bit. Depends ladder, non-ladder, whatever, hardcore, softcore, but still. All good by week 9? Okay. I'm waiting for that piece. You can definitely tell she's struggling with, you know, just a little bit of the gas. It's definitely not like colic of, you know, going crazy or anything, but it's enough. Now, if we want, we can definitely increase to... I'm going to go players 5 here. Spectres are kind of annoying, though, which is the, like, slightly tough part about it, I would say. But... and especially a boss group of specters. But it's all good. We can just be feeding our mercenary potions as he needs them. And level up. Same deal. More to penetrate. More to guided arrow.
Help me.
Hey, Barrick, thank you. The 105. Help me. Merce is the original decoy, exactly. Decoy OG. Yeah, level 22 now. So obviously Strafe is coming up as a potential if we want Strafe. A lot of people do like Strafe a ton. Like I say, I kind of prefer running multi and guided, but you know, we could try it out if we want.
I am overburdened.
A lot of stuff here, a lot of gold potential.
Blessings to you.
9 to life. Don't need 3 to strength.
Hello.
And more vitality there. And Arcane Sanctuary again for the second way. We're not gonna fourth way. This is gonna be a second way, you guys. Y'all gonna feel silly when I second way this, actually. That's all I can tell you. Y'all gonna feel like absolute fools. Grab the booties. Repairs the durability, but nothing else really on those. Not copium, you just wait. You just wait and see. Yeah, this is a tough area as a summoner for sure. Pretty good on the boson. I mean, again, we're on players 5 right now just to kind of keep our experience rolling. But we could definitely have gone a little, you know, just gone players 1. Wait to go back up to like Flare Jungle or something. Probably the next place I'll really look for increase in player count. We can get a little bit of experience. And second, okay. Alright, well, y'all got lucky on that one, alright? That's all I'm gonna tell you. Don't you Pepe laugh at me. Okay, grab some charms. I'm gonna go down to players 1.
Stay a while.
Just kind of move through a little faster there.
Good day.
3 to strength, 1 to 2 fire damage, 30 attack rating, magic damage reduced, fire percent, 3%. I'm gonna get rid of the 2 attack rating, small charm. Put these here if we want, put our gold away.
Welcome to my shop.
And let's continue. Isn't this a bit of a meme run? I mean, it's a guided playthrough. It's not a speed run, but you know. Has anyone checked if the pathing is trolling? It's not trolling, it's just... we still don't know what exactly we need to do to figure out which way it is. We've looked a lot at a lot of places. The best we found is a tiny bit of knowledge to slightly increase your chances by like a few %. Third way.
Good riddance.
Freak. No, you don't get to look at the offline file prior. Okay, circle gets the square. Does multi-shot synergy work for you? Yeah, it's saying so. Unless it's failing actually. But I mean, it says it's working. So, unless there's some sort of bug where it doesn't actually work and this is all for naught. Should be very sad. We are level 22 right now, which is a great level. I mean, that's superb. Also, there's skeletons down here. There are beetles as well, which is nice, but skeletons on players 8 are like super awful. So I'm gonna stick on players 1 for now. Could go up to like players 3 or something if we wanted. Good morning, Inversion. How are you? Okay. Time for Elduriel. Weird Zufall. So you're saying when you look right here, it's not showing 135% weapon damage or whatever? How's the baby? She's a baby. A little fussy, but she's doing alright. Oh yeah, also, if you want more cold resist, you just go and get thawing potions. Always gotta say this, I forgot. Go buy some thawing pots, and for each one you drink, it'll be 30 seconds of 50 cold resist. Now I have a minute and a half of cold resist. I could also get some for my mercenary. Probably be the best way to do it, honestly. And then I could like heal him and give him that as well. Let's go ahead and do that actually. Moogirl's doing well. We got some decent sleep last night though, so that was good. There were a couple rough nights not too long ago. Aww.
Good day.
Alright, so now we'll give him to Golzar.
Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
Now Golzar has 85% cold res, which now means when I'm in here, Golzar is much tankier and I can feed him potions, and he should be able to tank the whole time. Oops. Give him a rejuve. Is there a cap for it? I'm sure eventually there's a cap, but no like cap that you should be worried about. And just like that, Act 2 is completed. Give yourselves the clap. Moogirl is the mother? Yeah.
This is not.
We had a baby 6 weeks ago. You can clap for that as well. Give this to our mercenary. And it's always good to get some stamina potions before heading into the next act, because they're kind of annoying to go find there. Clap for Act 2 and for parents.
Good day.
It's like a nice little shield right there. Chance for hit recovery and stuff. And now we can additionally start looking for a teleport staff. We can also roll for it. If I find some cheap staves. You want to look when you're at least level 19 up to level 24. And you're going to be, and obviously beyond 24 as well works, but okay. And you don't want it to be 1 to teleport like this. You want it to be 1 to teleport charges. Now I have 3 staves. I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'm going to try and keep 1 of each gem just for upgrading gems later on, or runes later on. But we can try and roll for it here. Garbage rolls. And this can be worth money, but also can potentially roll us what we're looking for. And it does not. We got a little bit of money though. Okay. Can also start cubing some of these rejuves. 3 to 1 to make full rejuves. Because again, a lot of times this will be in hell that we're wanting these. And full rejuves are more helpful there. Also just saves a little stash space. Okay, so that'll be stuff we can sell later on. If Diablo never existed, what do I think I'd be playing? I mean, StarCraft was the other game I played a ton, and Dota 2 I played a lot of. Dota 2, though, I would go crazy too much and lose my mind. So, generally when you're shopping for that tele staff, though, you want to shop just before level 24, so then it's still a red staff, as in you can't use it, and then you can see it. I'm not sure I'd be on PoE, maybe. But PoE probably wouldn't exist if Diablo didn't exist, since a lot of PoE came from... Yeah, I like Dota 2 way more than I liked League of Legends. Personal preference. But again, the toxicness, so brutal. I would be one of those toxic streamers if I was playing that all the time. Why? Just feels like a lot higher skill cap. You can have a lot more influence in that capacity. I felt like League of Legends was kind of like MMO, but a little bit more for just kind of anybody. It's like easy. That's just to me. You'd pay to see me verbally trash someone out? Mostly it's me just being like, I can't believe you would be so mean like this. Why? I'm getting upset at them for that.
I am overburdened.
Okay. I don't want to reach level 24 too fast because again, I do want to get like, maybe get the waypoint. Probably get the waypoint at least. But I have rage quit the stream before from Dota 2 when people were just being horrible. I just was like, I'm not playing anymore.
Carry anymore.
Community is just so terrible. So sad. Dingo! Thank you very much. Okay, so we have the flare jungle, but we do need to be careful. 1 of the fire damage from the soul killers. 2, we don't have that yet. But waypoint is first, which is good. So we'll go ahead and run forward here. Waypoint should be right in this slot or the next slot. Either way, it'll be first. Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much for 32 months, Dingo. Wow. A lot of months. That's why I like SSF. You play by yourself. Exactly. I love SSF. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd just be doing a bunch of like StarCraft Brood War and playing a bunch of like customs and screwing around, doing a bunch of fastest, doing a bunch of laddering on that. Is Flare Waypoint always first? No. But the Spider Forest Waypoint was first, and the Flare and the Spider share that similarity. So if the Spider Forest Waypoint comes first before the cavern entrance, then the Flare Waypoint will come before the Flare dungeon entrance, and vice versa. If you find the Spider Cavern first and then the Flare is a later... It's not which one you find first, it's which one comes first in the direction. Another unique that we can't use. Rip.
What would this bring from the right buyer?
Casting returning. Y'all know I'm not a very good caster. Okay. Turn those suckers in. And did the HD clarity speed you up? Wait, what? Okay, so now I'm looking for a staff like this that has teleport charges on it. So at the bottom it'll say level 1 teleport charges. Okay.
Good day.
Okay. So now these are each worth 15k a pop. Yeah, that one had charges. I'm just gonna try and get some money. We'll sell a couple Neph runes. And this. Okay. So sometimes you find it fast, sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes. Either way, you want to be able to buy yourself this. Now they range from 16,800 or so all the way up to hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I'd say on average you're going to find it probably around like 50 to 65,000 in there, but you can find it if it's just plain by itself. You can find it for 18,000 on its own, 17,000 on its own, and that'll be just like a nice easy way to get it there. If you have a lot of gold, like I saved up some gold there, then it made it a lot easier. If not, then you know it's a little harder. So I'm going to go back to players 8 because we are in the Flare jungle. And this is a great place to level up with all of these little soul killers and stuff. It can be dangerous though, so you know, do be a little careful. But there's, you know, plenty of experience to be had killing these guys. We really just want to make sure we can lay them in with some poison damage. And we'll go another point to guided arrow and another point to penetrate. And really the beauty is, with this build especially, there's no like exact order that you need to be following. So if you're feeling like, hey, I actually want to run, you know, a higher level multi-shot, then you can run a higher level multi-shot. If you're feeling like, hey, you know what, I don't really feel like I need to get as much in penetrate right now, then you don't need to get as much in penetrate. You know, everything is kind of going to be a balance between penetrate, multi-shot, and guided arrow. And then, of course, if you want to get into Valkyrie later on, you know, that can be a great tank for you, so you have someone in front to help out. And like, I've also got 3 points in critical strike, you know. But obviously later on, if we get some stuff that increases our, you know, plus to skills a few and stuff, and those points become less valuable, we can get rid of them, put them into something else. I'm also going to pick up and look for some things that might be worth gold, because I spent all of my gold on that telestaff. I'm going to go ahead and put more into dexterity as well, because my chance to hit was dropping down a little bit there. And we want to make sure that we're still able to hit an okay amount.
I can't carry anymore.
Probably not worth a lot, actually. Are there a chance your items get lost when the vendor is full of items? That will happen, yes. If you sell something and there's nowhere for it to go in the slot, then it just disappears.
It's locked.
I definitely feel like I could put like one more point in the multi-shot here. And I didn't even do Radament, so maybe we go back and do Radament here at some point. Because again, this character getting a little extra help will be beneficial for sure. Certain characters you don't need any help, you know? It's like, yeah, you could just run through the game and they just murder everything. Oh, if you sell Torch, you can't buy it back. That one, it will not even show up there to be bought. You're just out of luck. This is why it's also very important to hide the your Annie and Torch and Jeeds from anything that would be a sellable spot where you'd be clicking. Make sure there's always a buffer. Always have a buffer there. Splint mail's worth some money. Catan, thank you very much for the Prime sub. 3 months, and we're reminding everybody it's monthly. Prime subs don't auto-renew. You just click the sub button, and it'll say subscribe for free or subscribe with Prime, one of the two. And you gotta go in and do it. Daddy Bezos does not want you to remember. Fogel, thank you for remembering as well with the Prime sub. You don't have to use it here, but you want to use it somewhere, otherwise you're giving Daddy Bezos your sub that month.
I can't carry anymore. This dagger will separate the faithful from the fallen.
Not been a lucky run? It's been fine. I mean, nothing crazy lucky, but... Okay, so nothing great about that ring, really. This one is not bad, but it's also not good enough. 3% lifesteal per hit you might think is good, but we're only doing 2 to 6 plus, you know, whatever little extra damage there. It'll be a long time before this actually would become meaningful for our character. 4% mana stolen per hit is kind of interesting with 23 cold res. We might hold on to that one. And see for later on. Or just even for now, see what the mana steal is feeling like. Can take a look. It's probably not going to be a lot at the moment, but I'd say worth checking out at least. I'm literally saying I started so much, can't even do chaos myself. Do you have advice for me? Yeah, I mean, that's going to be, chaos is going to be tough for you to be purely one spec with it all. It's one of the hardest areas in the game, for sure. Biggest thing is you need to avoid a lot of the cold immunes, but obviously you can't avoid everyone. You're going to have to kill some of the cold immunes, and that is where it's very tricky. So you can definitely see a little bit of like mana stolen per hit here when I hit stuff with this. It's not amazing, but it's okay, and it might be worth anyways. The amulet I had was not amazing, but it did give us about 20 mana. Which one's actually better, the slight mana steal or the 20 additional mana? We'd also, you know, we gained some cold res here. Tough. We're level 24, which means strafe now does open up as an option. Again, I don't really love strafe personally. I'm going to hold off on it for now. We have evade and penetrate. I'm going to put 1 point into evade here. The little extra survivability from that is really quite nice in my opinion. We also, of course, get our teleport staff now, which means we get to teleport. With very bad frames, mind you, but it is a teleport, nonetheless. And we can just lay some poison down. I don't even know if I really want to fight those guys that badly. Okay, well now we have kind of a combination of everything.
Help me! You
Also got more
forgot to
vitality.
mention that a sub makes it possible to type in chat during September smiley face.
Okay, well remember, there's no September. Everybody's always able to type in chat. But thank you, Anonymous. I do appreciate the sub, but you know, a little bit of misinformation there. It's everybody has the ability. Perfect. So let's continue here. Also, there's tons of stuff. If you ever need gold or some, you know, runes, gems, jewels, whatever, just
Hey,
come in
Daddy
here and
Llama
just
instead
pop
of
all of
Daddy
these
Bezos.
things. There's just stuff all over the place. Thanks, Jonah. So many good drops everywhere here. So you can always just like run this area over and over again.
I am overburdened.
Perfect. But that's only if you want to like keep doing that. I feel like we're in an okay spot. We'll just continue forward. We do need to get a waypoint somewhere so we can go back to the Flare Dungeon. But this is also a great waypoint to get because you can run Serena over and over again if you want. She is a great place to get additional experience, and she will be in the temple. Right. Let's see if we can see it. Lay some poison down on those guys over there.
Not enough mana.
Good enough. Okay, got our waypoint. So the temple that's in this area, there's two, and the one that's facing to the bottom left is the one that you want to be going into.
I'll put that to good use. Good evening.
Go ahead and give the mercenary just a little bit more, something, something. And we're back doing well with gold, which is good. Watching you play D2 makes me feel like I'm bad at D2. What? You can't be bad, it's just having fun. It's the beauty of the game. Does the hit delay patch affect the boson? Not solo, but for multi-shot it does, because multi-shot has hit delay for like other players. So if you were hitting stuff with multi-shot before, then other players would be struggling to hit stuff if they had next hit delay skills as well at the same time. But now, that worry doesn't exist. Don't go into mana shield really in cold. If you're a cold source and you want to go mana shield, just put 1 point. You don't really want to like heavy invest into it. It's a lot of dolls.
Thanks.
But you're mostly just going to be spending your time in that cold tree, which is why when you want to go do stuff like the chaos, if you don't have a sunder, then A, you're just skipping things, B, you're doing some sort of dual spec, C, you have a mercenary that you've like worked up in strength so he can help you. You gotta kind of figure something else out. Now, in terms of leveling with this character, I'm gonna be totally fine because I have been over leveling a lot, but if you haven't overleveled as much as me, that's okay for now, but you do want to make sure that you're level 25 by the time you get to Act 5, okay? That is the only important thing that you need to remember. By the time you're level 25, you need to have... Wait, what? It's not up here? Is it a center? Oh. I missed that. You need to be level 25. If not, you'll get no experience whatsoever. It's just a thing in the game. Okay, so we'll go back to the bazaar, and we can look for the temple really fast as well. Nothing there. Okay, here's our temple. So this is where I would recommend leveling up to at least like 24. Then of course you can get 25 if you just rush to Ancients, or you can get 25, you know, from there, Chaos, all that stuff. But leveling up down here is gonna be a solid place. No, in the cows, you will still get experience, so cows is another great place to level, but of course you need to have beaten Bale to level there, right? So it's kind of a... You have to make sure that you have Bale completed to go to the cows. So you can do Bale really early and try and kill him at level 20 there, and then, you know, go to cows after, but killing Bale at level 20 on this character is also going to feel really bad. These Night Lords are not the most fun to kill. They've got some poison res for sure. We're also out of arrows. Ooh, that's better. Cleglad's gloves. The slows target is nice. The knockback's also good for a boson. So yeah, I'd probably be enjoying that. Yeah, that'll be a better piece there. And then now we can also go and turn this in. And of course get more arrows. We'll put a couple more points into dexterity and the rest into vitality. And then with our additional skill point, we can come over here. And I'm actually going to go one more point into multi-shot. I want to kind of boost up, get a little bit more spread. Okay, and these points can go vitality, and then we'll get the extra life there. And we'll go back into the temple. and lay down some damage. Got gold, very nice. Okay. This is definitely a much higher difficulty of getting through the game. It'll just take longer. Jarvis with 25 months. Jarvis and Jonah sound like brothers. Thank you both for the Prime subs. You found a Wizendraw. Yeah, it's just not going to be that great. Like I say, the early bows really aren't going to do a lot for you unless you find one of the exploding, you know, arrows explode bows, which can be decent. But you could also just have gone into exploding arrow, you know, at that point. So it's kind of a it's meh, you know. Now, don't be too crazy as well with your teleport staves, because while it is fantastic and super nice to teleport all over the place, every time you teleport, it costs you about 2,500 gold or so to repair. Or an Ort Rune plus a chip gem works as well to repair it. So, you know, it's kind of difficult sometimes to match that. Now, 30 to light res is a lot of light res. I lose a lot of attack rating for it, losing that ring. But to me, 30 light res is probably at that point where it's worth it. We'll go ahead and put this in here though for now. And go into the sewers. That's true. Just gonna be down here and just looking for this level 2. But yeah, this will be a slower playthrough of the game and a little bit harder. But I think, you know, to me this is more the Diablo experience, I would say. This really does remind me of like what I love about Diablo 2 is all in here. Okay, grab that. Large charm. 1 to 2 cold damage plus 8 light res. Fantastic. This is a great place to get cold damage just on a single charm like that. Yeah, this kind of brings you back to classic 1.0. Now, 1.0 Boazon was the worst character in the game, but now this is interesting. You know, Ichor String, definitely slower to attack, but we get 50% pierce and 20 dexterity, 50 attack rating, and 30 poison damage. Now it's less poison damage by a long shot, but it's kind of fun. And with the 50 pierce that then would also stack with whatever pierce we had here, I don't hate Ichor String right here. It's not an amazing bow for it, but I think we could mess around, go up to 40 strength. Getting 40 strength isn't horrible anyways for a bunch of the other stuff we'll want to get later on. I don't hate it. I think it'd be fun to mess around with and try. Because getting, like, you know, really good pierce on, you know, multi-shot, for instance, can be really great. All those arrows just keep piercing through. And here you can see my cold damage that gets added in every time I hit is really helpful. So I'm going to go down to players 1 before you get to Travancore, as that would be kind of a nightmare otherwise. I mean, honestly, you'd probably do okay with it, but you know, it is what it is. Kind of like that time where Kool-Aid and I were dueling and I smoked him and he was like, I'm the whole duel king. And it was like, oh, Cooley with the raid. Wow. Well, that was timing. What up? How you doing, bro? Didn't see you come in. It's a little awkward. Hope you're doing well. Hope your duels are going well. Does Pierce work with a guided arrow seeking the same target? No, it used to. And they said they were gonna like change it back, I thought. Round 2, you're gonna show me what a top din can do? Alright, I mean I'm ready whenever you want, bruh. Whenever you're ready. Thanks, bro. Have a good one. We'll duel soon. Okay, put that back on. Welcome everybody from Cooley Stream. We are doing a Boazon playthrough right here. Physical Boazon playthrough. So, no exploding arrow, no freezing arrow stuff. It's just all the good. Heaven's Light or black? Depends what you're needing, but probably black. It's just got so much. I mean, Heaven's Light's also really solid, actually. If you have Crushing Blow elsewhere, then go for the Heaven's Light for sure. If you only have like 10% or 15% Crushing Blow elsewhere, maybe get the black instead. Could even swap it, you know, after you get enough Crushing Blow hits. Bariza is your Bariza's great, man.
Ah yes, the physical Boazon playthrough.
Of course.
My original build, which made me think my brother was just somehow so much better than me for playing Sorceress.
I mean, he was, because he picked Sorceress, but... Can you put the plugin where we can see your inventory? Is it not on? Let me check my... extensions, my extensions. Is it Diablo run? Is that the one? Is it working? Let me know if it's working or not. It might need me to save quit because it only reads at that point. Now, Mephisto is another great place where you can do a little bit of farming. So don't be afraid to enjoy a little time at Mephisto if you want. Get that waypoint in level 2. Doesn't show gear currently. Okay, yeah. It probably only shows on update, which will happen at save and quit. Maybe on an identification. Probably not, though. And of course, for El Mephisto, being on Players 1 is great, but... you can always just cheese him by just running around. Now we'll have to kill this guy. But this is why especially Mephisto is pretty solid for you. Okay, and then we just gotta see him here. And then you just step back far enough that he won't shoot you, but he'll keep running around. Nice and easy. Left, Zapinko. Now, this is also the bane of this character trying to kill bosses. It is a very tedious tough thing to do.
I need mana.
So,
I need mana.
yeah, it's just not nearly as good never. Now, if we had some crushing blow from some like goblin toads or something, that'd be great, but do you build a hustle bow in Nightmare? Can hustle be made in a bow? Oh yeah, it can. We'll need to take a look at hustle. I'd rather get a hustle armor probably. But we'll take a look at kind of the variety of bows there that we can use. Kedante, thank you very much for the sub. And Narrow Bridge. I think you're right that it's all weapons.
Deadly traps, ahead or at hand. Watch what you eat and mind where you stand. What am I?
Deadly traps ahead or at hand. Watch what you eat and mind where you stand. Watch what you eat. Saigons, everybody take a drink.
Success. But still, there's something not right.
Why am I watching what I'm eating? I don't know. What are you? There's Arctic, which, again, you know, for the physical damage, it was just, you know, a pit. Deadly traps ahead or at hand. Oh man, that's tough. I don't think I ever would have got that. Saigon's only run coming up. Now here I'm on players 1. I wouldn't recommend really going too crazy with the player count in Act 4, but you know, we do okay damage. Angelic Ring and Amulet would be fabulous. I believe normal Mephisto can drop both, and Dario will not. But I think at Mephisto you should be able to get both of those. And that would be like godly for this run if you spend a little time to farm those two. That'll help out so much. Regardless, give yourselves a clap. Act 3 is complete. We're moving into Act 4 looking for Mr. Izzy. Where is he? And you can still definitely see me keeping my level up has made this like a lot better. You know, I can actually hit things, which is just great. Now I don't have a lot of fire res in Hell, which is going to be a little bit, or not in Hell, in Act 4, which will be a little bit dangerous. So that is something we need to watch. Could you use Harmony Bow Revives to kill bosses? I mean, yeah, for sure, they would murder bosses. That's not exactly how I was hoping to play this character, but we could, I guess. Ishul gonna be another character that's just gonna be super annoying to kill. But that's okay. He's got a lot of life. We'll go back and get our mercenary and that'll help a lot. Event 25, I feel like the experience isn't great. Well, now I'm on players 1 and that slows it down a lot. But yeah, Act 4 normal is actually really just not that great of experience, to be honest.
What do you need? Good to
I mean, if I get a perfect ruby from Forge, I could try and craft some crushing blow on some gloves or something, and then we could have a little bit. Okay. If you're mowing through Players 8 Norm Bale, you're probably wanting to leave at like level 42 or 43 or something. This is actually a good time to actually go and get him a better weapon. So we can get him a pike of maiming.
put that to good use.
That'll be a nice damage boost for Mr. Golzar. Your question was why? Just how it is. Normal experience is just kind of rough around this time. I don't know why Act 4 normal experience is like that. It's great in like Nightmare in Hell. Is there any builder skill in the game that's good on paper and in practice, but it's awkward to use, so you dislike it? Probably. Let me try and think like which one. I mean, I don't mind Tornado and Elemental Druid. Mosaic Assassin, I went to 99 on it. It's kind of annoying though because, yeah, it blinds you and it's too good. I actually don't mind hammers. I would say Lightning Javazon. Lightning Javazon is actually the character that I dislike playing. And it's one of the best characters. But what sucks about it is you have to like position everything. You need to gather things up into groups. And I just hate that experience of having to gather things up into groups like that. Like if there's just a few monsters, it's just like annoying, you know, and so you kind of skip. And like I say, it doesn't really make sense because it's an amazing character and in practice it's so good. It's one of the best characters that exist. But it's just, I just get so tired of doing that. It's just not how I like to play in that capacity with it. And at the same time, I think her frames are so bad as well that it's just super annoying and tedious. So it's kind of a combination of all that. A lot of people, I would say, it's hammers. A lot of people hate the positioning of the hammers and just how they come out and everything. That's definitely one that I know a lot of people have said. Blizzard is weird, but I actually enjoy the Blizzard placement and how it all works. I actually have fun with it.
Thanks.
Impossible.
Okay. Check that mask, actually. Yeah, if you're trying to just hit a stationary target with Blizzard, it can be a little bit annoying, but I just like don't take Blizzard down to nil attack very often and stuff. And then I don't feel so bad. They definitely made null attacks not as nasty because they got rid of that massive bug that happened with the poison damage. Where's the dude? Yeah, this cold damage helps so much. Yeah, the poison cloud doesn't do physical damage anymore, so that was a big help. Alright. See what we get. Perfect ruby. Amethyst. Flawless ruby. And a Rao rune. Okay. Not a horrible. 2 gems. And that. 6 to life. Probably just too little at this point.
What do you need?
Did Bo get any buffs? They buffed her. They gave her these synergies now. So guided arrow, multi-shot, they synergize to help increase her damage up. But she's still just gonna be, you know, weak for a while. I mean, probably not a ton. They really need to increase the base
I can't.
weapon damage. That's what'll help. Is my hardcore adventure over? I'll probably create another hardcore character a bit later. I just woke up and was like, I want to make a Bozon guided playthrough because I need to redo a lot of my guided playthroughs, and I'm not sure I ever made this one before. A lot of people asked for it. Allow grief in a bow, Jesus.
Impossible.
But she's doing alright here. You know? She is hanging in there right now. Definitely improving her chance to hit has done wonders by, you know, really boosting up penetrate, making sure I have enough levels, and getting the Blessed Aim Mercenary, all of this. You can still see we're not perfect chance to hit, but we're hitting a lot right now, and that is helping so much. Bliss Source? Yeah, Bliss Source is probably your most optimal start from scratch. Ooh, you got Gold Strike. That's great. If you up that Gold Strike, it's a fantastic bow for hell. For like that playthrough. Okay. You're just gonna aggro everything, aren't you?
Thanks. Thanks.
Not bad. What if explosive arrow from Kuko applied to the multi-shot? That'd be fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put more dexterity. Try and raise that number up a little bit. Again, we're definitely putting, you know, more in dexterity here than we would love to, but attack rating is so crucial for us. Zephyr's okay. The big issue I feel like I'm, you know, gonna have with Zephyr if I go Zephyr is the damage just isn't quite there on it. It doesn't really. It's got 33% enhanced damage. It's nothing, you know? So it's not actually going to boost us enough in a meaningful way. He'll just take forever to kill stuff. I love Zephyr when you're trying to just, you know, shoot as many times as possible, but here we need damage as well, so it doesn't quite work as well. But we'll get into physical bows soon. And like I said, we'll take a look at them when we kind of start getting to that point, which will be around the cows there. Let's go get mana potions.
Hail to you, champion.
Arctic set slaps. Yeah, but then you need all the Arctic pieces. Or at least a few.
I can't carry anymore.
Which you just never know, right? Yeah, Werewolf Druid is back to being alright.
Carry anymore.
Okay, so we have a stag bow here, one open socket. Get him out of there. Werewolf Druid could be a cool guided playthrough. Be probably pretty similar to this, honestly. Maybe I'd start with Rabies though, and then, unless it's all Fury only sort of thing. Yeah, this is single player. And it's a guided playthrough, so getting something like a full Arctic set isn't really useful for people that are trying to watch and play along. Because they're like, cool, I don't have a full Arctic set. What do I do? Extension's still not working? Wonder what I need to do for it.
I am overburdened.
Okay, Mercenary will die instantly. Just gonna happen. This will be a long fight. Yeah, I'm not sure I've relogged since I started the extension. We can do it after we kill Diablo. So we have a Nephrune. We could craft some Crushing Blow gloves if we get a gem shrine. That could be nice. Yes. Just at half capacity for range, that's all. I'll go ahead and put another point to penetrate for now.
I need mana.
As we know, I'm going to want the attack rating. Physical traps and guided playthrough? Oh, like the blades? Could be fun. could be another fun one. Can you still sync character on PC and console version? Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
Where is he? The cold damage is so nice. Love it. Bozon is just bad. I've tried enough. I mean, again, she's great when you have full gear, but it's very, very expensive to actually make her really good. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you actually have to move around and micro around a little bit and stuff, and I think it goes more, again, to the more classic RPG experience. It says Diablo, after all. No, more of a hybrid. I think the guided is magic damage, not physical. Guided is physical damage. Only magic arrow is magic damage. But even still, I would consider using magic arrow the physical Zon playthrough. Anything that's using the skills down the center of that tree is physical Zon to me. Right, we have a bow and we're fighting Diablo. It's supposed to be tough. Easy. Just like that, give yourselves a clap. Act. 4 is complete. You remember that act, right? You don't remember that one? Weird. Alright, let's go back and do Radamant really fast. Can put the emerald in my bow? That's true. I'm also about to go get another tower in though, so we could just do that. Alright, 2 more skills. We'll go penetrate again. And we'll do another guided arrow. failed that teleport. Dum 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 bum. Y'all remember the good old days of Llama RPG? Yeah, me too. Can't wait for that game to come out. Back when it was good. Oof. There was a time my game was good? Let's go, baby. No edge for playthrough? We're in normal. Why are we getting edge in normal? FCR is suggested for Trapson, so you can teleport. And for things like Mind Blast and any other things that you're trying to cast that are not traps. But a lot of times you're not going for tons of FCR unless you are going for the 102 breakpoint with the Enigma. Okay, let's go to Act 5. Another plus skill. We'll go ahead and put it in guided arrow as well. 65 is okay. Yeah. If you're running, you know, dual claw, you know, it just happens. You know, I've said I would never sell Llama RPG to a big company because they're just going to ruin my game. But if Microsoft offered me $7 billion for it, it'd be a tough one. Sell out. I'm honestly not even sure if I would take it immediately. But I could take it and then just make my own new game. To be fair though, I don't really want $7 billion. That is a lot of diapers for baby llama, which is great. But I think I would rather have like $20 million than $7 billion. Because when you have $7 billion, it's too much. You know? It gets scary. I mean, one, of course you suddenly have a lot of new friends, but it's like your whole life at that point, I feel like, becomes about money and protecting your money, and everybody's trying to get your money, and, you know, I feel like life would be a lot more relaxing with 20 million or 10 million than 7 billion. That still happens at 1 million? I don't think life is as stressful at 1 million as it is at 1 billion. That's why you don't tell anyone, but everybody would know if I sold Llama RPG. If you were to compare real life to D2, how much IRL does a burr in a D2 feel like? Feels like you find at least like $500. Now, again, if you are looking for a place to level up, this can be a fantastic place. Just kill an Eldritch.
I can't carry anymore.
Y'all can have the 7 billion. I'm just saying. I personally think having that much money, your entire life becomes about that much money.
87 gifted a tier 1 sub
And
to
I
Shake
think my
Shadow.
happiness would erode and actually go down a lot. And I would feel bothered all the time and just like I'm constantly having to protect it and whatever. It'd be awful. Mers, thank you very much. We're on players 3. But yeah, you can farm right here all the way up to like level 35 if you want, something like that.
Merzinic 87 gifted a tier 1 sub to Geralt Fritz.
Thank you, Merzinic. 2 gifted subs. Also, yeah. 35 to 38. Yeah, you can do a lot. Right. Like your whole point of when you have $7 billion, all billionaires do is manage their money like giant economies to try and buy more power and make more money and all this. And it's just... Merzinic with another gifted sub. If I get 10 million, would I stop streaming? Nah, I'd probably still stream. But also, you know, it's like, man, all your friends. I just would hate all the dynamic it would create. Money changes people, man. We'll get this level up here. I mean, I feel good to like move forward, but we could definitely spend a lot of time killing stuff right here.
I need a key.
And the other problem is, you're like, well, just give it away. And it's a great answer, except trying to give away $7 billion? So hard to do. First off, you have to do a lot of time and research to actually figure out who is like a good person, good place, good whatever to give it away to. A lot of that $7 billion that you give away will just go into the pockets of people taking from it, you know. So it's like, there'd be a lot of organizations I wouldn't trust giving it to. Be some I would give some to for sure. You know, St. Jude's and stuff. Even then, you're still probably having some, but can't avoid all the corruption. Probably just have to give it away to a bunch of chat, honestly. All my subscribers, anybody who is like already a subscriber, when I got it, they'd get it. That sounds like I'm trying to get you to sub now. That's not, the purpose isn't to try and convince you to sub now. The purpose is, you know, people that have been there. Is Ice Fire better? Uh-huh. This is if you want to play the physical bows on a little more difficult style, you know? sometimes, for many people, including myself, having a more difficult playthrough is actually a better experience. Okay, we will go penetrate again. Like, it's slower, but
Just making sure I can
this
get
is
in on
actually
that
playing
XP.
quite well so far, you know? Obviously, it'll get worse in Nightmare in Hell, and it'll be harder and blah, blah, but... Hexus, thank you for 7 months. And we'll go more dexterity. Maybe the people that don't sub me the most, that's why you can't sub. Yeah, I mean, I would also look at, like, people that have watched my stream the most and aren't subs. Just people that have been around, you know, in the community. That would be how I would do it.
I need mana.
Stone1469 gifted a tier 1 sub to Kanar Fetnat. They have given 13 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, Stone. So your stalkers get paid? Sure.
Impossible.
Can we get free audio instead? What do I look like, a charity? I mean, no. You have free audio. What are you talking about? Only one even prime. Thank you very much. Grand Charm. 1 to 2 fire damage me. Okay. Let's go to the frozen river, shall we? But like I say, at that point, if Llama RPG, they're trying to offer 7 billion for it, it's probably already doing all right. And I probably already have my 10 million that I'd need to feel, I mean, I'd feel comfortable before that, but you know, the max that I would want. So I probably don't need to sell it for 7 billion to Microsoft then. All right, no deal, we say. We're gonna keep the game fun and not full of garbage.
Good afternoon.
You would block the sale to Microsoft anyways? Probably true. It's true. I already got everything I need. Hey man, there's things more important than money. One of those things is Llama RPG's integrity. Now, 8 billion, we got a different story. That's right. Okay, this is 1 to max damage, 33 light res, 38 fire res. Alright, well that is massive resistances. Wow. 71 resistance of 2 important resistances. We definitely want to use this. Gonna use that for a bit. That'll be tough to replace. Okay. Alright. Do this, do this. We are making an RPG. We died yesterday on our source, so it's all good. She was only like 83 or 84, not a big deal. And her gear, we just couldn't find anything on her, so I wasn't like crazy distraught over it. Well, okay, let's go this way. You gonna change it to get me up? This is single player. I'll probably remake later. I'm also probably pretty close to done shooting playing arrows. Ever done a multiplayer guided playthrough? No, I'm not really sure what I would be. Doesn't really fit for a guided playthrough that well. Maybe. Torsten, thank you. I mean, if I'm trying to show like how two characters work together or something.
Not enough mana.
Redemption Orphan Phoenix is really good at the corpse solution from Death Century. So yeah, I mean that's, if you don't want that, then you could definitely swap out that shield, you know. And just go for a facet shield. It'll be even more damage and you won't have to deal with that, but it just depends. Do you feel like you're getting enough explosions from the, you know, from it or not? Okay, now we can obviously cheese these ancients. What up, Kano? And the Boazon is probably a great case for who should actually cheese the ancients. Guten Morgen. Sorry, you're Australian. Good day, mate. Is that better? What? It sounded just like you. Doesn't like my impressions.
MP Guide. Join free item games to get a bunch of stuff. Get rushed.
Yep.
Do ball runs.
Yep.
Repeat for NM and hell.
There you go. Nailed it. Alright, let's run around and see if we can find ourselves a gem shrine. See where these shrines are anyways. Pew. Gotcha, eye gouge. Thank you, Diston. Monster shrine, skill shrine. Is that all the shrines? What we're gonna find here. Okay. So Stonyfield is the best place to find gem shrines. You can obviously go look in other areas as well. If you have close shrines, you can just go check them real fast. But your best place to find it is going to be the Stonyfield. So I will take the gem I need. I don't have it currently. I'm just using a dual towel bow right now. Let's go ahead and get that. Exactly, Puce. Is Pindle bad for this build? Pindle's probably okay. I mean, it's a little narrow, but... I just need some water.
I need a key.
Bum, 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 bum. Now, it can be annoying and take some time to get a gem shrine, or obviously you can get it really fast. I'm not sure Strafe actually got buffed. I don't think it actually improved Strafe, if I'm not mistaken. That's tough, Nate. Experience, mana. Stars playing tonight, and oh my god, if they did not play the worst game of hockey I've ever seen in my life on Sunday. I mean, at least I'm not a Leafs fan, but still. Treadmill today? Let's do treadmill on Thursday. My shoes and socks are downstairs and stuff. Clearly I haven't seen you play hockey. Fair enough. The worst period of professional hockey I've ever watched. Now, you don't, of course, have to do this. This is an optional thing that can be done if you know, get yourself a flawless ruby or a ruby and you want to upgrade it some. Obviously, if you get a perfect ruby, it's great. Ouch, Uppy. Not getting lucky. This playthrough will be on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can obviously skip out a couple of points. Fine to when I actually get the gem shrine. Moo! Water, please! Huh. Thank you. That worked out. Five stars. She's like, no, you turned down $7 billion. Bye, please. Gem shrine. There we go. So once we get a gem shrine, we make sure we only have the gem that we want upgraded in our inventory. We touch it, and that gem will be upgraded. It is also technically the longest since interacted with gem that upgrades, but don't just ignore that. That's that's going to be too complicated and somebody's going to mess it up and blame me. So just drop all the gems that you don't want out. Okay. So we do this. We do this. We get some heavy gloves. We get the jewel. Voila! 8% MF, 12 to life, 5% chance crush and blow. And 2% life stolen per hit. So now we have a little bit of crushing blow, which will help a lot. Isn't the Charcy's... Oh yeah, Charcy's level is capped, so that lowers that. Whatever. I just want the crushing blow. Let's go the Ancient's way. Great example of early crafting in the game and usefulness. Trying to learn something. Never played physical bows on. It's you know, it's fun, but it's different for sure. It doesn't work as well as the other things, but like I said before, this is like the older D2 experience to me and the older Diablo experience. Crushing blow is a percentage of life. So it'll be big chonky. So we'll go ahead and get mana potions. We can always put more potions into our cube. We can also, of course, just drop potions on the ground if we want. And we can do some health pots for our mercenary, who is potentially frozen right now still. Looks like a visual bug. Now, of course, we can always cheese these guys if we want. Right? And to do that, we just come over here and just open up portals right here as soon as Korlik leaps on us. Now he's not targeting me. Whatever. I'm gonna actually do it, but I'm just gonna show it. Okay, so that still needs one there. He's going after Golzar, which is annoying. Come here. So you wait for him to leap. And when he does, you do that. And now we have a full wall here, and you can see you cannot get through this area. It glitches it out. So then, of course, we can just grab all the ancients, bring them around here, jump over here, make sure the mercenary doesn't get too close to them. This is best to do by yourself. And then they'll just stand there and you can just shoot them and cheese them, right? That's the easiest way to do it. But that's not as fun. So we'll go ahead and fight all of them. Now, something else that ends up working out usually decently well is you bring them down here. And you get them right here. just happened to give a bad... Okay, right here. Now he'll come up. And he still might whirlwind from there. But generally, if he's just aiming right at you here, he will no longer whirlwind. Because he would whirlwind off the cliff. And so now he'll just stand there and just attack straight up instead. Which is helpful. So this is a great way to prevent him as well. You just need him getting to a point where he's facing the cliff, and if he whirlwinded, he would fall off the cliff. When you have that, you're good. Also make sure you have enough arrows when you go into this fight. Yeah, I still haven't relogged yet, so I still gotta potentially do that to make it work. And that is your normal ancients. Really not too bad. And we'll go ahead and go guided arrow again. And I'm gonna get us to 100 and then one more dexterity right there. Sounds like a Carbot skit. They just fall off the cliff. I agree. I'd watch.
I can't. I can't.
Now, I'm also starting to look for exceptional bows, especially 4 open socket ones. So, edge bow is 3 open sockets, but could still be interesting to look for. Razor bow would be great. Cedar bow would be solid. Double bow would be great. So all of these bows I'm looking for. I think I'd really like a razor bow just because it has good attack speed, 4 open socket maximum. All of this. Double bow would also be great, but it does have a much higher strength requirement on it. Though you do get a little bit more average damage. But I'm looking for these kinds of bows to pick up so I can potentially make some nice rune words in them.
Impossible.
For when we're going to Nightmare here. And Insight is most likely where I want to go with my stuff. But you ran Insight in an Ashwood until hell and it was slow. It's gonna be slow.
I can't.
Like I say, that's just kind of... Yeah. A lot of it depends on what we find. Those are pretty much the choices. Edge, Harmony, Melody, Insight, Hustle. Could do a stag bow, but we don't really care about the plus skills that much. So, you know.
Impossible.
But yeah, getting a nice, you know, high base damage bow would be nice as well, which is, you know, Razor Bow is not nearly as high of a base damage. So getting like a large siege bow or something could be nice there, but obviously it's a little bit slower. Gothic bow, rune bow. You know. No.
Impossible.
Best place to farm skillers? I mean, it depends. If you just want flat out skillers, you should probably go to Nightmare Lower Kurost. If you want them to come with like life and that sort of stuff, then probably farming just like terror zones or cows It's really good. Nightmare cows are also great. Why did I not get decrepified there? Bale broke. What up, General? GG, glad they've helped out. So I definitely want to try and not get hit for like cold damage here, really. So trying to avoid these guys best as I can. And just having the multi-shot here will also help out a lot for that. We'll shatter some of these corpses as well, which is nice. Oops, didn't see that guy. Because there you can see if we get decrepified and frozen, it's a nightmare. Can't do anything. The negative guest. Yep. I mean, Edge could be really great with Valkyrie, if we're going to be honest. But I think that's almost like a cheese build slightly, so I don't know if I should do it. You know?
Not here.
But that would be like really strong. Maybe if it's just like really awful at the end of Nightmare, we could just go into that build. Rib Cracker, Nightmare Mephisto, GG. Oh yeah, Peace is great with that Valk. Nice. Yeah, light's viable, but it definitely improves later on as you get more. Like skills and stuff. But it's okay, you know. Tanky boys. Am I getting Valk at level 30? I'm currently not poised to get it at level 30, no. Like I said, we could, you know. But the dodge, avoid, evade is doing work. Yeah, Valk's really nice for hell. Now, wave 5 might be a wave we just skip. Kind of one of those that could just take a really long time to kill. We're not super built for it. We'll just move on to Bale. I'll probably go for Insight, yeah. And here's also where you can really see the crushing blow. If you watch Bale's life, you can just see those big chunks that get taken out. It's not going to be all the time, but when it hits, it's a lot of damage. So that speeds this up a lot.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Yeah, I wish we had the piercing guided arrow. There you go, there's another big chunk taken out. And if he ever does this with his clone, you can always just run away from the clone, come back here, get all your stuff. Oops. Let's get more arrows. Get more potions. Get some Thaywing potions for when he hits us. And if you're gone for 8 seconds away, and him and his clone aren't near your portal, then the clone will disappear. How neat is that? So 1 in 20 shots, we'll do a crushing blow hit on him. Otherwise, we'll just chip away slowly but surely. Guided arrow always hitting helps a lot for this. Much faster. Is this a viable build endgame? Yes, but you need a lot of gear. "109 bows, that was super fun." Wind Force weapon or Faith? You can run either one. Both are viable.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
You like the endgame Bariza? Some might do it with the physical. Where are we? The guided arrows track onto him, but of course if like stuff in between jumps, you know, in there. Oh. Or if he jumps and there's something in the way. But yeah, if I shoot like here, it'll still track over to him. Alright. We're through his A. Just gotta get into that B now. Crushing blow counts. Maybe what counts.
Impossible.
How many times does it hit? 1 in 20 it's going to hit, so. Witch Wild is alright, but I mean I've tried it on like kind of playing around and I just didn't like it nearly as much. I'd rather have Bariza, honestly. Yes, Crushing Blow does work with arrows. Like I said, just at half effectiveness. Oh my god. Six socket wind force? Yes, if you're playing PD2, 6 socket wind force works. I know, it was wild, Pixie. I was not paying attention at all. Alright, socket the crossbow and add poison. I mean, we definitely could do that. Clay Claws is nice, yeah. Put a Talrun in there, and then we'd have, with the Pierce, the 109, it would be a little bit better. But we're probably going to upgrade out of the bow pretty soon, so I don't know if it's worth doing it. How to get through the axe efficiently? I have a lot of guides. So, Icy Veins, if you do exclamation mark guide, if you look on Icy Veins, I have guides for all different characters, plus leveling guides, all sorts of that stuff. I have a video called Map Hacking Your Mind that I think is pretty helpful. But then I also just have guides for everything. My YouTube is littered with them. Wow, Worldstone Keep is the area.
Work here is true.
So, normal is done. Give yourselves the clap. That's nice and easy right there. Why can't I sell this? I cannot complete that request. You walk too far away. Okay. Can you guys see my gear now that I relogged? We have smoked through it. No? Alright, I don't know then. And now, like I say, if you want to come in here and grind away, you can. If you want to be, you know, grinding at Pindle there, you can. If you want to be grinding,
Impossible.
honestly, so many places that you can just take and go level up. Just easy places to get a little bit of EXP. Feel free, you can do that here, or you can continue forward. You can try and level in Nightmare somewhere. Nightmare Act 1 definitely will be a viable place for leveling. You can go up to like players 3, players 5, players 7. Kill right here for that. Nice easy place to get obviously good experience like we talked about before.
I can't carry anymore.
There's a long warbow. You can see a little bit more damage on that, 3 to 23. Obviously it's blue, so we don't really care that much, but we got a stag bow right here. Not really gonna be good enough.
Oh, Neelathok's home away from home. I need mana.
But another place that we can get more experience, which is, you know, I mean, it's tough. This is players 3. So, you know, maybe a better farming this on P1 right here or something. But we do need to obviously work into a stronger bow. Cow level will also probably be a great place for us to go. We can get some experience down there, and we can start picking up some runes, some, you know, items, things like that. Can always obviously go to Nightmare and start doing Nightmare Den as well, or Nightmare Tower as well. So I think there's really a lot of options to kind of consider here. But this hopefully gives you a you know, pretty good look. Pretty good look at some of those. Whatever you want. So like I say, we will get into the cows, we will get into Nightmare, we will get into all the different bows that we can look for in part Nightmare of this run. I'll go through the current gear that we are using and the current like stats and skill and everything because it is a little bit all over. Here's our stats. We have a base value of 69 dexterity, 104 vitality, base value of 27 energy. So I've put a little bit into each of these down here, and then we put a little bit into strength just to get to 25. For skills, we have 10 guided, 5 multi, 3 crit strike, and 9 penetrate right now, and then 1 here. So really, again, it's kind of balanced around between all this. For gear, I just have Tal. I never actually put a third Tau rune in there. I probably should now that I have a third Tau rune. And I can use that just for, again, a little bit more of Nightmare and or a little bit more of normal and then a little bit of Nightmare until I get my better bow. Just some energy, really nothing there. Nice 71 resistance amulet, stealth, some crushing blow gloves that we made, 30 light res, 17 hit recovery, 74 attack rating, and 10 fast run walk. So obviously my gear has a lot of room to improve, and Nightmare will be a great place for it to do that. So definitely, you know, look out for all of that. I will say, as we're going to get into that in part Nightmare. Until then, YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mwah! Kisses to you all. I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.